Lewes. Local webcasting for a worldwide audience.
Back in the days when I was a teenager, brother, I had tons of brown sugar.
For real?
That's right, you act like you don't believe me. Oh, shoot, brother, you should have been around in those days. Those were the good old days.
Yeah.
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom.
Everything is go here. We're just waiting for the cabin pressure to bleed to blow enough pressure to open the hatch. It's about 0.1 on our gauge now. Neil, what's your gauge,
Charlie Manson crazy?
You know, a long time ago, being crazy meant something. Nowadays, everybody's crazy.
The movie will begin in 5 moments, the mindless voice announced. All those unseated will await the next show. As we seated and were darkened, the voice continued. The program for this evening is not new. You have seen this entertainment through and through. You've seen your birth, your life and death. You might recall all of the rest. Did you have a good world when you died? Enough to base a movie on?
Hello, this is DJ Nightmare, and I'm here just to frighten you. That's it. I'm just here to frighten you. Rape me. Yes, well, that's Nirvana. It wasn't Rape Me at all. It wasn't Rape Me. It was all apologies. They do have a song called Rape Me. I'll say it again. Rape Me. Ooh. Ooh, they're dueling in here now. So we're bringing in some of my other weird friends. I've got plenty of weird friends. I've got... What's going on? What's going on? The music came up again. And I didn't... That's not my hand. Another hand did it. There was a third hand. Anyway, on the third hand, here's Jack the Bloody Ripper. Marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. That's Link Ray with Jack the Ripper. And I've got some other creepy friends, as I've said before. I think I said it before this previous thing. I said the same thing, and I'm going to say it again. I've got lots of creepy friends. Here's Frank.
Frank settled down out in the valley, and he hung his wild years on a nail that he drove through his wife's forehead. He sold used office furniture out there on San Fernando Road and assumed a $30,000 loan at 15.25%, put a down payment on a little two-bedroom place. His wife was a spent piece of used jet trash, made good Bloody Marys, kept her mouth shut most of the time, had a little chihuahua named Carlos that had some kind of skin disease and was totally blind. They had a thoroughly modern kitchen, self-cleaning oven, the whole bit. Frank drove a little sedan. They were so happy. One night, Frank was on his way home from work. He stopped at the liquor store, picked up a couple of Mickey's Big Mouths, drank them in the car on the way to the Shell station. Got a gallon of gas in a can. Drove home, doused everything in the house, torched it. Parked across the street laughing, watching it burn, all Halloween orange and chimney red. And Frank put on a top 40 station, got on the Hollywood freeway, and headed north. Never could stand that dog.
Well, the days go by, the night turns into evening, the evening turns into a longer darkness, and somewhere out there is a sex cult. Yes, well, that's marvellous. And the late, great Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is just a marvellous, marvellous screen actress in Bus Stop, in Niagara. And, you don't normally associate her with the horror and the nightmare that is my bailiwick. But here she is with her version of I Put a Spell on You. Marilyn Monroe. Yes, I believe that Marilyn sang that at the inauguration of John F. Kennedy. I didn't say that properly, but it was on purpose that I didn't say it properly because I'm DJ Nightmare. Anyway, do you want a little demon? Do you want a little demon? I've got one.
Down in the valley on the foggy hill rocks with a crazy little demon blowing his top. Fire in his eyes and smoke from his head. You gotta be real cool to hear the words he said. He did for the one he loved, so he had death on his mind, cause my demon let him go. Gonna run through the world till he understand his pain. Somebody help him get his demon home again. He did that time. Took the fruity out of fruity, had the devil drinking wine. He did a that guy was mad. Cause she finally got across to the crazy little demon that a woman's still the boss. Down in the valley on the foggy hill rock, you can still hear the demon blowing his top. He did that cat was mad. He pushed back night, bought in afternoon. He even made leap year jump over the moon. He took the 4th of July and he put it in May. He took this morning, bought back yesterday. He did a
I believe it was DJ David Bowie who first said, Ong Dr. Linker Neblod Zin. What a charming ending to a powerful piece of music that was, wasn't it? I'm sure you're agreeing with me. I can see you all out there. Your heads are nodding in that shadowy darkness where you live. Or is that just me? Anyway, one of my favorite film directors is John Carpenter. And, 20 or so years ago, he made a very dangerous movie. Very dangerous. It can't be shown anymore. And it was based on the works of the horror writer of the 20th century, H.P. Donglecraft. and it concerns entities from outside of space and time who are constantly pressing on the bubble of reality, pushing it, seeing where the membrane is thin and where these entities can push in. Anyway, apparently the film helped them. The film was called In the Mouth of Madness, from the story by H.P. Donkelcraft. nightmare. In the future there'll be nightmares. In Japan, in 2030, there'll be children, small children, and post-pubescent children with psychic powers, and they will go to war. There will be a tremendous battle. That's what will happen. You have my word. Some nightmares are just downright nasty.
Don't you know? let's try it again. She did a nasty boogie woogie, don't you know? Nasty boogie woogie, don't you know? She did a nasty boogie woogie, nasty boogie woogie, don't you know? Well, nasty boogie woogie, 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 don't you know?
And then there's that other dream that you have, which turns to a nightmare eventually, but you're entombed, 1,000 miles below the earth in an ebon chamber with strange starfish-shaped creatures who communicate telescopically or telepathically. They communicate telescopically with you and bombard you with information that you don't really need. Well, I have a special guest. Special. In every sense of the word, special. Special. And my special guest is Tony. Little Tony, you may remember, he's been on the King Bob show before. And he's... well, you remember him from the film The Shining. He was the subconscious id figure of little Danny. And he's back in business because there's a sequel to The Shining. And I've seen the trailer. It looks absolutely marvellous. And Tony is featured in it, although we can't be specific about how he's featured. But I did get the chance to ask him a few questions about how it was, and making a film, a sequel 40 years later, and Tony's here.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Tony.
Thank you.
So I understand this new film, Dr. Sleep, is the sequel to the famous Stanley Kubrick film, which you were in.
Yes, but Kubrick's gone now.
Well, yes, I mean, he's been dead at least 20, 15, 16 years.
No, not dead. Gone.
I'm not sure I understand the difference, but you probably do. Anyway, let's gloss over that because it's a bit spooky, even by my standards as DJ Nightmare. How was it working? I understand that Ewan McGregor, the British actor, plays Danny, the boy from the original film, all grown up.
Yes.
Well, how was it working with Ewan McGregor?
He's Scottish.
Well, yes, I know that, but...
Yes, but he's always going on about being Scottish and not wanting to be part of Britain, and he hates English people, and I didn't really like him.
Well, that's quite shocking news, really. I didn't know that Ewan McGregor was such an ardent Scottish nationalist.
He has the flag of Scotland, on his sunglasses.
Really? I'm sorry, Tony, that's just ridiculous.
It's not. It overwhelmed my experience of working with him.
Well, let's move on.
Looked inside me.
Well, I'm sorry about that sudden ending to the interview with Tony, but well, he's unpredictable, and I think he was about to go into really unpleasant territory. Speaking of which, Trent Reznor, can I say that? Trent Reznor. I'd like to say it again. Trent Reznor. Searching for the perfect drug in a nightmare. And drugs are not cheap, because it's not just about money with drugs. It's not just that you think money, they cost money, and then health. It's not that. Drugs steal from the future.
I got my head, but my head is on
if you're listening to this, after the following information will be of absolutely no at all. But as DJ Nightmare, I will be DJing at the Lewes on All Hallows Eve, 31st. And I'll be half flesh and half metal. One of the most interesting things I've discovered in show business, by many years in the underground world of show business, is that if you say Lou Reed quickly, very quickly, it can sound like lurid. Lurid, Lou Reed, and that always gets a laugh. Well, perhaps not on this occasion, but here's lurid.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other, until I met you, and then it happened. It took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too. see it by the look in your eyes. Sweeter than wine, softer than a summer's night. Everything I wanna have whenever I hold you tight. This magic moment, while your lips are close to mine, will last forever. Forever till the end of time. So why won't you dance with me? Hey, hey. Why won't you dance with me? This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other, until I met you, and then it happened. You know, it took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too, by the look in your eyes, sweeter than wine, ooh, softer than a summer's night. Everything I want, I have, whenever I hold you tight. This magic moment, than a summer's night. So please, baby, so please, save the last dance for me.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this hour with DJ Nightmare and his creepy friends. And they've enjoyed you, and they now know where you are. So, anyway, contact's been established. And but we'll finish, not on that slightly solitary note. We'll finish with, in traditional style, with the Monster Mash. And see you in the next universe.
An eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
he did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
They did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five.
They played the mash.
They played the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
They played the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
They played the mash.
They played the monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drac's voice did ring. seemed she was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?
It's now the mash.
It's now the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
And it's a graveyard smash.
It's now the mash.
It's caught on in a flash.
It's now the mash.
It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool. Drax a part of the band. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them what is said.
If you can mash,
then you can Monster Mash.
the Monster Mash.
And do my graveyard smash.
Then you can mash.
You'll catch on in a flash.
Then you can mash.
Then you can Monster Mash. You in
Monster Mash.
Mash.
Monster Mash. Monster Mash. Monster Mash.
Radio Lewes. Local webcasting for a worldwide audience.